So we know that animals are pollinators, but which animals are they? Think about who you've seen visiting flowers. The best pollinators around are bees, and not just honeybees, but our native wild bees like bumblebees, mason bees, leafcutter bees, mining bees, sweat bees, and carpenter bees. Also, other insects like flies, beetles, butterflies, moths, and even male mosquitoes are pollinators. The ruby-throated hummingbird is our only bird pollinator here in Ohio. We also don't have any bat pollinators here in Ohio, although in Central and South America, bats pollinate a lot of flowers and are really important. The bats here in Ohio eat lots of insects like mosquitoes and moths, so they are important, but they just don't visit our flowers. When you're going outside to watch pollinators at work, remember these animals have an important job to do. It's okay to get close to them and see what they're doing, and it's fascinating to watch pollinators, especially bees at work. Some people are a little bit afraid of bees, I think because bees have stingers, but bees aren't looking to sting us. They only sting us if they are scared. If a bee starts flying by you, try to hold still. It probably just saw your pretty colored shirt and thought that you were a flower. It may take them a few seconds to realize that you don't have any pollen or nectar and that you're not a flower. But if you're scared, close your eyes, count to 10, and it will probably be gone. Some people are allergic to bees, and we want to make sure that you're always safe. So if you know you have a bee allergy, be sure to have your EpiPen with you. And if you do get stung, be sure to tell an adult. But if you don't swat them, you probably won't get stung. Speaking of bees, let's take a quick trip over to Wegersund Gardens Metro Park to discover more about bumblebees and the amazing way that they pollinate plants like blueberries, peppers, and tomatoes. Can you imagine life without pizza sauce?
Have you heard the buzz about bumblebees? And I'm not just talking about the sound they make when they fly. Bumblebees use buzz pollination or sonication. That means to use sound to release pollen from flowers. To do this, they vibrate the muscles in their thorax while they hold onto the anthers. This is the part of the flower that holds the pollen, with their mouth or forelegs. The sound waves they create shake out the pollen. It's like what happens when I blow air inside my homemade kazoo. The air vibrates the paper covering the end to create a sound. Scientists think that the buzz bumblebees make when they are pollinating is very similar to the sound of the note middle C. This note is also higher than the normal buzz they make when they are flying around. Good thing bumblebees don't have to carry around kazoos with them when they fly. They have everything they need to get the job done, and they get it done fast. It would take several visits to and from the flowers to move as much pollen as a bumblebee can in one visit using buzz pollination. Behind me are some examples of the plants that benefit from buzz pollination in their fruits. But over here, this is a really cool plant. It's eggplant. If we look closely, we can see the stamens on these flowers. Remember earlier when we talked about the anthers holding the pollen? Those are the small structures you see right here. And that would be where we would see that Cheeto dust. Remember that moved and it helped us represent the pollen? Buzz pollination moves this pollen and helps the plant. But collecting pollen helps the bumblebee have a place to lay her eggs. Bumblebees use pollen to create a pollen ball nest for their eggs. When the eggs hatch, the larvae will eat the pollen while they develop. We'll talk more about the life cycle of the bee later in the trip. For now, let's head back to Cox Arboretum and learn about how our pollinators are using their super pollination powers to help humans.